Well, we have done as much work to this tractor as we can do until we get some more parts here. The differential housing has the brake components all installed into it. We'll have to wait till the axle assembly gets back here. Then we'll get that stuffed in there and finish that job up. What we're going to do now while we're waiting for those parts to arrive is we're going to work on this 7720. This tractor we have on the 1200 Supreme mixer, and on Christmas Eve morning I was feeding my last load of feed, and I looked down and the tractor is not charging. It's got a voltage problem. So I said, well, it's probably not charging. Probably need an alternator or something. We've got alternators up there for 50 series, the payloaders, 7710, and I've got one for this tractor. Well, it didn't need an alternator. It actually had a idler pulley fall off, or the bearing went on it. It's that one right there, just in the other side of the alternator. That idler pulley bearing went and the fan belt fell off. So I hurried up, got it down to the shop here. 7730's tore apart, it's down. We'll just take the idler pulley off of that. Well, that uses a different one. Both these tractors have 6.8 liter engines in them. They're basically the same tractor. We got that 7810 that burned up. I said, boy, I wonder if that pulley could be the same. That has an 8.1. Well, that pulley was wrong. Was different. Siding Stricker didn't have one in stock, but O'Hara's did. And I happened to look up the part number that is required for this. And I searched through John Deere parts, like whereas used. 7810 has it, uses it. I said, well, we'll take it off that 7810. So we've got a used pulley on there. It was wheezing a little bit of coolant, you know, steaming out right here. So we pressure tested the system, and the top part of the radiator, the top tank, has got a little, actually it's right here, a little crack in it. And to be honest with you, this tractor has been losing a little bit of coolant, and you can see that it's kind of wet here. And when we pressure tested it, that's putting a little more pressure on it than what the system would build in pressure if you were just running it. This tractor never gets hot. So we're going to get that stripped apart. The radiator's not that old, so we're going to replace just the top tank. We'll have to get the skins off of it. I don't know how elaborate I have to get that out of there. If I can just pull these pins at the top of the radiator and to get that top tank off, or if I probably got to take the whole damn thing out and disassemble it that way and then put it back together. This tractor had an engine put in it at 22,000 hours. Had a reman put in it. I know I'm probably going to get questions. Why has this got a yellow engine? Well, this engine must have come out of a piece of John Deere construction equipment. Our payloaders have the same exact engine. The older 624 has this engine in it, and the newer 624, no, the 544 I think uses this engine because it's yeah. And then the older 624, that's the same engine, it's in the 7200. And then the newer 624, that's a series above that. So the remanufacturer company that does the engines for Deere, they paint the engines black. And then if you, of course, you can see the black paint is starting to come off of this, and you got the yellow paint underneath. So this tractor currently has 27,355 hours. I actually have to bring you guys up in here because you probably wouldn't believe me, but well, most of you would believe me, but I got a couple of clowns that don't. So let's go ahead and get this apart, and hopefully some parts show up here so that we can get this tore apart and put back together in a timely manner. I hate having things tore apart for too long. So let's get after it here. Okay, Nathan, what do you think? Think it's ready to go for a ride? A lot later now. No, I got you, Nathan. There. All right, so we have this removed. Here's our new top for the radiator. And this guy was cracked right there. I probably could have put 3M panel bonding stuff on there, but I didn't want to goof around with that stuff and not have it work, right, Nathan? So We'll go ahead and get this radiator apart. We got to pull the pins out of it to get the sides unhooked from it, and then we should be able to get the top off of it, the brackets off of it, and then this top is just going to go on there with a new O-ring. Is that how it's supposed to work?
Sure.
So, all right.
This is a receipt. I'll put this in on the job. Nope, not right.
What do you get? The whole fifth wheel?
The bottom, which we have to return it. I was going to say keep it for that C5 because that obviously needs one. It doesn't slide enough, and it isn't sliding. And for less than $2,000, get a whole new fifth wheel and slide. Why not, right?
That was 900 just for that, almost 1,000 just for that piece.
Got to return that. It was less. It was less than $1,700, like $1,670 or something for the whole
For
thing.
everything.
Yeah.
Because,
We're gonna have to order some angle iron. That C5 gets back here, we'll have to just make our own.
regular steel angle iron would do that, or you need like a hardened one, or I don't know. It can be flexible there.
I think regular angle iron. What, ½ inch?
Yeah, half inch is pretty heavy, but you got to figure there's thousands of
Slides
pounds.
out. That does not look like it's gonna be fun, mister. They put that in with some
Is this
kind
the
of
gasket
machine.
tank thing you got?
Yeah.
I'll put this on your desk if you do need return.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
Not really. It doesn't.
Alright, so we've got our new tank all installed. Here's the old one here. Boy, I didn't know if I could see a crack in that, but this was like 200 and I don't know, 70 or 80 bucks. The whole radiator's 1700 and something. And this radiator isn't all that old, and it does an exceptional job cooling. So all we need to do now is get this back together and then wash it all out real good, and install it back into the tractor. So we'll go ahead and clean up some of our framework here, and yeah, get it back together. We got to bend this lip down all the way around, but I'm going to wait until I get the top and bottom all pinned back together here. All right, so we've got this all put back together. I ended up washing the whole unit out, and as you can see, it is a lot more cleaner right at the moment. So we'll go ahead and get this tossed up in there. I probably should blow some dirt out from the front of the tractor there, because that looks a little dirty. And then we'll get this setting in there. so we have this all back together. We've let it run some. We do need to top off a little bit of coolant in there in the system. I was just getting ready to climb up on there with a gallon jug, and I glanced back at this heater hose, and it has a pretty good rub mark in it. So I need to swap that out. I'm gonna cut that hose. It comes down and it hooks into this T that is right on the bottom of the reservoir. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that coolant tank is down a little bit. So we're gonna get that swapped out. And while the tractor was warming up, while I was waiting for, it to get warm so that I could top off the coolant level, I changed out one of the armrest arms. Now, I don't know how much this one costs, but I changed them out on the 7730. One was $68 and the other one was $90. I don't know why one is more than the other, but I'm guessing that the left-hand armrest probably costs more because everything that's left-handed is clumsy and costs more. But I had somebody comment a while ago that, they asked the question, what do you have in your parts budget for the year, your service budget for the year? I said, oh, we don't have one. We don't have a budget. We don't budget money for repairs. We do the repairs when they're needed, and we don't do anything more than what we have to do. In other words, we do not, or try not to spend beyond our means. So as far as having a budget for this type of stuff, we don't have a budget. But being that today is January 1st, 2025, we have started off a new leaf here. So I ended up putting enough money in our armrest budget to buy armrests for 3 tractors. Now I only have 1.5 tractors done. I didn't replace the right-hand armrest. So I have 2 right-hand armrests upstairs, and I have 1 left-hand armrest left over. So that's all we can replace for the year, because we have budgeted for that. So we're just going to have to go without. So we're gonna swap out that heater hose. Hopefully the coolant tank doesn't have that much in it, because I'm gonna lose some. But this is the plastic tank we replaced. I talked about it earlier, but it had a crack in it right there to there. And it had leaked quite a while because there's a lot of grain stuck to the top of it. Now we ended up washing the radiator out before we put it back in. And this tractor did a real nice job cooling anyways, even with a half-assed plugged radiator. So let's swap out that hose and we'll see what kind of a mess it makes when we go to release that one hose clamp. But it's probably gonna lose some coolant. So I wish I had seen that earlier. But there's really not money in the heater hose budget. So we'll just have to just do that repair anyways. It's going to cost us more if it blows. If it wasn't in the budget, if we had a budget for it, it would cost more money than not replacing it because the money wasn't there or the funds weren't there or something like that. So we'll get that changed out. what we can do here. Need to get myself a clean pail. That'll stay there for a moment. Just what I was afraid of. No big deal. You just get there, let that drain out. What there is a plastic reservoir tank right there. And this tank tees into the bottom of that. We actually had to replace that tank on the 7730 back when we were chopping. I believe it was third cut and Andrew had coolant misting out this one side, and we had to switch tractors. I think that's when we put the 8110 on the merger. And we had to finish with that. I don't know what it's hitting on the hood there, but maybe try to bend that line down or something. The hood is coming down now. Trying to pull this hose off of that hose barb. We'll just cut it because that hose is going to pull too hard and it's going to break the reservoir. We just slide it ever so nicely. Just let it do this. Pull that off, and we don't have to worry about breaking or cracking the plastic reservoir. And here's our roll of new hose here. Put our clamp on the hose. What pocket did I put it in? Clamp on there. Push the hose onto the fitting. Get it tight, and then we'll just swing it up to where it's got to be and figure out what is rubbing against that hose. Needs to be about yay long. All right. Now, right to the top side, slid on the tube. Alright, we got just enough tube left over. If that happens again, we can just cut it off and push it back on there. But it's got a couple of years on it. So, I don't suspect that's going to be a problem. Alright, now we can top that off. right, so that should do it for this video. Quick little easy repair. Got that tank swapped out, that heater hose, new armrest on there. And we'll kick this out the door now, let it run for a little while. And then tomorrow they'll put this on a manure pump. Let it run on a manure pump for a while to get the working temperature up there nice and hot and make sure we don't have any other leaks in the cooling system. We don't want to just put this on the mixer wagon and then have a problem and have to pull it off again. So that's what we'll do here tomorrow. So with that being said, that is gonna do it for this video. This will be a few days before you see this, but today is New Year's Day. And I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. And we will catch you at the next one. Take it easy, folks, and thanks again for watching.